All right. Okay. There's a real sort of series of strange ideas that you can experience without generating them, and and an example might be is is standing behind you right now, viewer, is a man in a blue shirt who's holding a flaming sword. He has dark skin and a large nose, and he has a small mustache and beard, and it's sort of grey coloured with grey hair, and he's sort of average to short height and kind of tubby. And he talks with a sort of Ebonics accent with a strong preference for jargon translated into what sounds like it's accessible speech due to the enthusiasm by which it's described. Okay, so in other words, you viewer standing behind you have Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay, now why is Neil deGrasse Tyson in a blue shirt with a flaming sword? Because Neil deGrasse Tyson has been given the role of gatekeeper. Okay, Neil deGrasse Tyson is the gatekeeper. Okay, of the Universal Star Tracker wheel system. The Neil deGrasse Tyson, far from being a astrophysicist who was part of the new atheist, you don't even have a soul brigade, his actual deal is to be the gatekeeper of the Universal Star Tracker wheel system with a flaming sword. Now, why is he doing that for? Because in his not-self box, in his Avatar world, okay, see, he's probably become a bit more spiritual over the last few years or so. But in his not-self world, during the new atheist phase, it would have been not self to have a soul. It would have been not self to be a gatekeeper of a grand cosmic star tracker wheel controlled by tall grey aliens or some crap, or his Masonic friends that he hates so very much. It would have been all of those things. Okay, all those things would have been not self. Okay, he would have been, Neil, just go on Star Talk and just talk about what you're passionate about. Get one of your bros on there. Have a good yarn about it. Just make sure, even if people don't know what the fuck you're talking about, be really fucking enthusiastic, because it sounds true but it's fucking passionate. Either way, what do you care if they believe you or not? You like that fucking shit, Neil. Okay? You go out there and you tell your fucking stories and you have fun doing it. How fucking great it is. How fucking great it is that he's not being portrayed as a freaking farmhand slave with a white overseer whipping him or whatever. Okay, he's got the flaming fucking sword. Okay, of the gatekeeper. Okay, so that without being rude, Neil. Neil wouldn't think that as rude, would he? No, he probably wouldn't. Okay, he's been given that job, so that the black fellas of the world are your gatekeepers to the cosmos. It's not the white fellas that are gatekeepers of the cosmos, it's the black fellas. He's got a flaming sword that can go right through your guts. Anytime he fucking wants, anytime he thinks you're too racist or fucking sexist for the upper fucking realms. He's got a bullshit detector that's working pretty well at the moment, because he's actually become aware at his not self box, and perhaps even in his self box, that's in a sort of weird sort of depending on if you're talking about phenomenology versus numenology type of thing, where he's coming like, hang on a second, maybe that new atheist crap was just that fucking crap. But here's the thing about Neil deGrasse Tyson: he never supported Star Wars. He never supported Star Wars. He never supported Masonry. He still doesn't. And Neil deGrasse Tyson is not a Catholic either. So he's at this weird crossroads where he's not a new atheist anymore. He's not a new atheist. He's not a Mason, and he's not a Catholic. But he kind of has to act like the gatekeeper to the cosmos with his flaming sword and his blue shirt, because he's the one. Swords are words, right? And he could use words to set you on fire. That Neil deGrasse Tyson. His words will set you on fire because there's so much passion in them, right? Okay, so he's sort of almost like he's your gatekeeper of the cosmos, because his imaginary constructs that come out through his words are determining whether or not you follow one path or the other. And the crossroads that he's at is the crossroads between how the military has affected civilian workers, such as astrophysicists, for example, how the US media is used as a tool of propaganda, how the empowerment of the black man in the USA is faring at the moment in a sort of, post-Jim Crow world. That's sort of... some of the crap coming out from the USA, from the Democrats in particular, suggests that it's a reintroduction of Jim Crow world. We're pretty sure that the black fellas in America wouldn't be happy with that. I mean, actually, white fellas in Australia wouldn't like it either, in any fucking sense. And it just sounds like an all-round fucking stupid thing. I mean, without being rude and stuff like that, we're going to play the stereotype here, okay? He might be a short man in one department, but he's still a black man in all others. Maybe he's tall in another department, and that sword isn't his words. Maybe it's a long spear, okay? A really long, really hard spear, okay? And he wants to be the hottest fucking man in the fucking cosmos. He wants to be fucking Betelgeuse. Nah, the great red giant that's blowing up everywhere. You go, that's some hot shit right there, okay? So see what's going on there? See the stereotypes we're playing with there? They are, in fact, stereotypes, okay? We don't actually give a flying rat's backside. Here, in imaginary constructs or physical reality, there is a man called fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson who is... We don't care if he's got anything in his pants. We don't care if he's a Ken doll, okay? We usually don't care, okay? It's just like his dad generation, okay? His dad generation, so that's kind of gross, okay? Okay, sorry, Neil, but the young lady geeks don't find you that appealing, okay? The stereotype about the black man when it's favourable to him doesn't quite work that way. Okay, right, so now that we've false sexualised this physical vehicle and the messages that are coming through, and also false sexualised Neil deGrasse Tyson, bet you didn't see him as a sexual being before. Bet you didn't see Neil deGrasse Tyson as a sexual fucking being before. Bet you saw him as... Oh, he's got a pen in his fucking pocket, and he's a shield for the military-industrial complex, and he's talking all the satanic egregore fucking crap, because physics hasn't been a science for about 50 years, and they're all just spouting fucking cult fucking codes for the fucking Masons, okay, because they're in their John Nash universe. They love mathematics. Masons love mathematics. They're both bad at it. And they haven't really got an understanding of how minds work, so much as they've got an understanding of how, that sounds like a really great equation. Let's go with that. Okay, so let's remind the physicists of the world, the John Nasses of the world, and the Masons of the world. You don't have jurisdiction, okay? You're not the bosses of reality. You're not the gatekeepers of reality, okay? The politicians aren't the gatekeepers of the reality. The financiers aren't the gatekeepers of the reality. The military-industrial complex aren't the gatekeepers of the reality, okay? Okay, men aren't the gatekeepers of reality. You know who the gatekeeper of reality is? Your mother. Your mother is the gatekeeper to your reality. Okay, your mother is a gatekeeper to your reality, because all she has to do is whoops, fall down the stairs, and you weren't born. If that's not a gatekeeper to your reality, we don't know what is. The amount of anxiety that you get from what's her name? Usually conservative, but not always conservative politicians, and it seems to apply in numerous Anglophone countries. As it turns out, is they seem to be of the opinion that abortion is bad. So let's have a discussion with him for a second, shall we? Not necessarily Neil, by the way. Don't actually know what his opinion on the subject is. Okay? Alright then. If Adolf Hitler's mum accidentally fell down the stairs and he wasn't born, would you be okay with that? Yeah. World War II is bad. Hitler was bad. Be good if she fell over down the stairs and he was aborted or miscarried. Okay. What about Pol Pot? What if Pol Pot's mother fell down the stairs and he was aborted or miscarried? Yes, please. Oh, please. That would have been so good. Those poor Cambodians, what they went through. Oh, that would have saved them so much misery. What about Pinochet? Yes. Oh, lots of people got murdered in Chile and that. Oh, they didn't have a good time at all. Oh, yes. The prevention of Pinochet would have been a good thing. Okay then. What if the Virgin Mary aborted Jesus H. Christ? What if the Virgin Mary aborted Jesus H. Christ? What if she was walking around Galilee going, fuck this shit, 12-year-old shouldn't be harassed by Roman soldiers, aliens from outer space, Joseph, he was trying to claim before he fucking paid. So he was, no, what really happened was Joseph paid the dowry to Mary's fucking father, and then he went, well, he's paid for it, he could claim it, so he went into a room and fucking had her. And then they rushed the marriage because there was a consequence, right? Oh, no, that's not what happened. No, the Archangel Gabriel was from heaven and descended to earth to give her a message. And okay, so we're going to go with Mary. Mary wanted an abortion, okay? Virgin Mary wanted an abortion. Okay? She wanted an abortion. She was a 12-year-old. She was worried her hips couldn't handle it. Okay? She wanted to listen to Taylor Swift, and she wanted to listen to freaking Billie Eilish, and she wanted to listen to Cyndi Lauper, and she wanted to listen to the pretty lady down in Bethlehem somewhere that liked to bang rocks with sticks and sing about how Roman soldiers have small dicks. Okay, like whatever. Like she wanted to, she wanted to play with her tunic fashions to see if she could sew some designs in it that were a little bit sort of annoying to her parents or something. Like what if the Virgin Mary wanted an abortion or had a miscarriage? Would you call her Lilith? Would you call her a monster? Would you call her, don't know, wait, a baby killer? Would you say that she's responsible for killing everyone in creation? Because the Spirit of Christ is within everyone, and Jesus Christ is literally God at the center of the Ezekiel wheel, according to their fucking crap. The Virgin Mary did not want to invent Christ consciousness. If she wanted an abortion, if she had an abortion, if she had a miscarriage, would you call it the ultimate act of rebellion? It's as though Eve reincarnated and decided that maybe obeying Adam wasn't in her best interest. I mean, what if the Virgin Mary turned around and said, "You're not bringing that thing near me," and stabbed that man, Joseph, he was most likely the culprit, in the testicles, and then walked around Galilee with his nutsack around her neck to the necklace to say, you do that fucking shit to 12-year-olds, that's what you're fucking going to get from the 12-year-olds. See, we have a crisis in societies that are strongly associated with Christianity. Increased amounts of borderline personality disorder, and yes, hebephilia. As the Quran says, just because she is pretty, it does not mean she is for you. As the Hadith also says, she's allowed to carry a scimitar underneath her burqa. And no, she won't get into trouble if she kills her rapist. Wait a minute, Islam's supposed to be the more misogynistic one. How come you're fucking allowed to kill your fucking rapist in Islam? Oh. Well, supposedly you're allowed to, but in practice, the Iranian police will take you to fucking prison if you don't wear a niqab. So whatever. It goes to show that regardless of what the actual doctrines is of any particular religion, the men are actually practicing something completely different. And the practice is called whatever he feels like at the time is the law. Make it up. Okay? The men are, in truth, all chaos magicians, okay? They believe nothing is true and everything is permitted. And the only thing they're worried about is another bloke getting all moralizing on him and beating him up for doing exactly the same thing he's doing. Okay? They're not consider that, abortions and miscarriages, okay? Abortions and miscarriages are a natural part of life, okay? Approximately 3 million people are aborted every day. Wait, not people. Clusters of cells that don't even remotely look like people and are technically smaller than the amount of skin that you scrape off your hand. Okay? Miscarriages are quite common as well. Miscarriages are very, very common. I mean, Jesus H. Christ got aborted last Tuesday. And will be aborted again next Tuesday. Every Sunday when they pray, they're technically killing Jesus. They're praying that the Virgin Mary will find in her heart the guts to kill Joseph for the abuse of her person. For yet another story where women are relegated to mere fucking holes. Okay? So any man who has a God complex thinks he's Jesus and is aborted by the Virgin Mary every day. And you know what the Virgin Mary is? Mary's mother. The Virgin Mary deserves to be protected by women. She shouldn't be touched by some 30-year-old named Joseph or some Roman soldier named Gabriel or whatever the fuck that was. No. You go near fucking Mary, go near that fucking virgin, you can rest assured their mother is going to come in and chop his fucking nads off. The father won't. The father will say he will when he's talking to the other men, because that's how they remove their toxic shame of never, ever, ever, ever changing the narratives they tell each other or themselves, all the things they actually do in spirituality, religion, politics and law that absolutely well and truly hate women and think it's okay to get all porky-eyed on 12-year-old girls. No, if you as a man so much as look at a 12-year-old, from here on in, the women of the world are going to go 4B. Actually, they're going to go 4B anyway, and they are going to chop your nads off and wear them as necklaces. Okay? We hereby command every man in the world to stand down. Otherwise, Neil deGrasse Tyson's giant dick is going to fucking stab your lily white fucking asses in the guts and tell you that your fucking European dirty, disgusting shit is child abuse. He's now the gatekeeper to stabbing all of you to prevent you from going near 12-year-olds again. Okay, he'll be the first man in history that fucking does who pulls that one off. And by the way, all the tall grey aliens are fucking dead. And Mary never existed.